me tell you something. Chadwick gave the performance of a lifetime in this film. Hey everyone, it's Sharona from Pay Your Weight, and today I'm going to be reviewing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is currently streaming on the Netflix platform. This film is directed by George C. Wolfe, who's responsible for directing films such as Lackawanna Blues, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, and this film is actually based on the August Wilson stage play, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. If you have not watched Giving Voice on Netflix, it is streaming on Netflix, okay? Make sure you take the time to go watch that. I guarantee you, if you're a fan of August Wilson's work, you will really enjoy this documentary. That was just my little side note because I had to let you guys know that there's other prime quality content to be watching in relation to this film. But it stars Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman as we are thrusted into Chicago, 1927, at a recording session as tensions rise between Ma Rainey and her ambitious horn player and the white management trying to control the uncontrollable mother of blues, Ma Rainey. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, and is it worth your time watching or not this weekend where it's currently showing on Netflix. So going into what I enjoyed about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, you guys, there is so much talent in this film, just from a casting standpoint, okay? The cast alone is just absolutely fantastic. There are so many great performers giving awesome performances in this film to the point where there is some great talent that almost gets overshadowed because the level of intensity in these performances in the film, I was just like, everyone is just so fantastic. I don't even know who to focus on, but I really want to give a shout out to Coleman Domingo. Let me say the name one more time. Coleman Domingo, who plays Cutler, who is really the liaison between Ma Rainey and the rest of the band in the film. I think he does a really fantastic job. Anytime that I see Coleman on the screen, I instantly gravitate towards him. And I really think that he does a fantastic job, especially because some of the most intense scenes of the film, he's playing off of Levy, played by Chadwick Boseman, which they have one just really intense scene, and I was just like, the fact that you are able to like really keep your own as Chadwick is like, when I tell you that he gave the performance of the lifetime, he truly did. He was acting on all cylinders throughout the entire course of this film, so much that I felt as though his performance really overshadowed a lot of the other actors in this film, which is a lot to say because there's so many great performances. But also too, Glenn Turman, who is literally a legend, okay, a black legend. A legend in general. Go check him out. If you don't know about Glenn Turman, you're doing yourself a disservice and you need to go figure it out for yourself. But also too, Michael Potts, I think that they do a really great job as a band. You feel the cohesion, but one of the things that I love as we see these interactions, which there's a lot of meaty dialogue throughout the course of this film, which is really, their performances help elevate that. It doesn't make you feel as though that you're watching this play or you're watching this long monologue, because the emotion that they're giving you, the performance that they're giving, it like you really feel what they are saying to you, almost as if they're saying it to you through the TV screen. But I will have to say that they just gel so well together. But what I love is really this exploration of really, we have these people in this industry that is controlled by white people, but as black people, they're talking about what success looks like. And we see these different generations of black men as they're talking about what does success look like? How do we achieve equality? Do we need to appeal to our oppressor who is making this life harder for us? Or do we really need to just make our own way? And I love how we see that through the lens of all of these different gentlemen who come from different walks of life, especially as we get into Glenn Turman's character Toledo, especially as him and the young blood Levy, played by Chadwick Boseman. I really love their interactions as well. But I really want to take the time to talk about Viola Davis as Ma Rainey, who is actually, she's a legendary singer. You should really do some research on her. I'll get into some of the cons of the film where I wish that we had a little bit more of Ma Rainey, especially since she is a real figure. But what Viola brings to this character, from her look, the intention of her makeup and the presence that she has, as some people, no, not some people, most people will call Ma Rainey difficult, as how we're introduced to her throughout the course of this film. But there's a monologue that Viola has that really speaks to how, especially black women, Black talented women, how they were used, their body or their voice was used as a commodity. And as soon as it was done, it was as if they meant nothing to them after that. And I love in this monologue about how it's important that Mai always protects her own. She protects her family. She is very out and open about her sexuality. And she is very outspoken. And especially to see a Black woman like that, especially in the 20s during that time, I just thought that that's so amazing to see on screen. And there's just this presence that Viola brings to Ma Rainey. Is that you see when she walks in, she means business. She commands respect. She demands respect. And I love how we get to see that through her character throughout the course of this film. While I like to have seen a little bit more of her, and I'll get into that, into the cons of it, I think she does a very great job, especially as we get this clash between Ma and Levy in the film. But I do love that she is an out and proud Black woman. Taylor Page is actually in this, and I really can't wait for the world to see Zola. I need Zola to come out ASAP because I really need the world to see what Taylor Page is capable of. She doesn't have that much to do in this role, but I love that we get to see this powerful Black woman, Ma Rainey, who is just in control of her career, in control of her sexuality, and making sure that she commands respect at all times. I really love that. But also too, because we have Chadwick in this film, and this is the last performance that we were able to see. It literally felt, while I was watching his performance, the intensity that he brings to it, where I can't believe that he was like in his, I'm not sure how far along they were, but I know that he was very sick at this point. Of everything that he is doing, the intensity, he's dancing, he's singing, he's funny in this, he gets emotional in this, intense, angry. There's so many, a plethora of emotions that when I say that when Chadwick left everything out there on the floor, he gave his best performance, so good that he overshadows Viola. He overshadows Glenn Coleman because his performance is just, it's just so top notch. It's so electrifying watching him on screen. It just truly, his presence just stuck with me after this film was over. And especially with the dialogues talking about, religion, talking about painful memories of something that had happened to Levy's character in his past. I just felt blessed to even be able to witness a performance like that, and to think that that's the last performance that Chadwick left us with, on this planet, is one hell of a way to actually go out. Now, even though I have a lot of things that I really did enjoy about this film, I do say there are a couple of issues that I have with it. Even though this is called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, it doesn't feel like her film. And even with outside of the performance, Chadwick's performance outshadowing Viola Davis, I felt as though that we didn't get to see enough of her. And also too, what I would say is from a singing standpoint, she's lip singing, but I didn't necessarily feel like the voice of Ma Rainey necessarily matched Viola as I'm watching her lip sing. I don't know if that was just me. Maybe it was just something minor. I do appreciate that they do want to use Ma Rainey's real voice, but I don't know if it would have been better if Viola was actually singing. I don't know the creative decisions behind that. I'm going to respect what George C. Wolfe wanted to do with this movie. But it kind of took me out of it at moments. And also too, for those of you, this does feel like a play. I think they make the most of what they can do because there's not that many different set designs. But sometimes I felt like I was in that play atmosphere, and I don't know necessarily if that was a good or a bad thing. But for me, I really had a great time watching Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Just from the dialogue of everything that they're talking about through these long, beautiful, painful, sad, and funny. Like, there are funny moments in this movie. Like, I laughed quite a couple of times. It just felt so great to see August Wilson's work still coming to film. We saw Viola and Denzel in Fences, and Denzel is also a producer on this film along with Viola. But I just felt like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was just something that I needed to see. Just beautiful performances, powerhouse cast, just amazing from beginning to end. I really would recommend everyone to watch this. It's currently streaming on Netflix right now. But those are my thoughts about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. As always, my name is Sharana from Pay Your Weights. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again.